You have been sold a modern lie that is slowly draining the life out of you. Society screams at you to grind until your bones ache, demanding that you wrestle your desires into existence. You hustle, you stress, and you obsess over the future. Yet the very things you are desperate to attract seem to constantly slip right through your fingers. You are pushing against a locked door when the key has been in your pocket all along. Thousands of years ago, the greatest minds of antiquity, men who ruled empires and men who endured chains, understood a fundamental psychological law. They knew that true manifestation does not require frantic desperation. It requires the supreme, quiet power of internal alignment. The Stoics did not sit around wishing for magic, but they knew how to maneuver through existence with such profound clarity that reality had no choice but to yield to them. When you stop operating from a place of panic and learn to anchor your mind, you stop repelling your goals and start naturally drawing them into your orbit. Today, we are going to dismantle the chaotic way you have been taught to pursue success and replace it with a timeless framework. We will explore 7 Stoic rules that will completely alter your energetic signature and turn you into a magnet for what you desire. Before we tear down the old architecture of your mind, make a deliberate choice to step into this new frequency. Hit the subscribe button to join a community of thinkers and builders. Share this knowledge with someone who is exhausted from fighting a losing battle. And anchor your intention right now by leaving this exact phrase in the comments. I command my reality through stillness. Do not skip a single step of what follows, because your mastery begins here. Number 1. Sever the desperation from your desire. The most dangerous poison to your ambition is neediness. The modern world trains you to fixate on a goal and attach your entire self-worth to its achievement. But the ancient philosophers understood a brilliant paradox. The faster you chase something out of a sense of lacking it, the faster it runs away. When you believe you absolutely must have a specific outcome to be happy, you radiate a frantic, repulsive energy. Epictetus observed that true wealth is not found in hoarding vast amounts of external treasure, but in radically reducing the things you feel you desperately need. To manifest your targets, you must cultivate what the Stoics framed as a preferred indifference. You can hold a grand vision for your business, your relationships, and your finances, but you must reach a point of absolute psychological certainty that you will be perfectly fine if none of it arrives. When you detach your internal peace from the external result, you stop making decisions based on fear. You begin to operate with a cold, attractive confidence. You hold your ambitions gently rather than strangling them. And the universe naturally gravitates toward individuals who are not bleeding from their own insecurities. Number 2. Weaponize the present moment. Your consciousness is likely wandering through timelines that do not exist. You spend your mental bandwidth agonizing over historical mistakes you cannot rewrite, or you project your mind into a theoretical future, trying to solve problems that have not even materialized. The Stoics recognized that the architecture of reality is only ever built in the immediate present. When your attention is fractured by tomorrow's anxiety, you become completely blind to the subtle, life-changing opportunities standing right in front of your face today. Seneca warned his students that anticipating the future destroys the joy and utility of the current moment. True manifestation is an energetic state. When you violently snap your attention back to the current second, you shed the heavy baggage of regret and the paralyzing weight of what-ifs. You enter a state of pure, unadulterated focus. This absolute presence makes you incredibly magnetic, allowing you to catch the subtle shifts in conversation, the hidden pathways in your career, and the quiet intuition that leads to massive breakthroughs. The future you are begging for is constructed entirely by the quality of the awareness you deploy right now. Number 3. Transmute friction into fuel. The path to your ultimate desires will never be a straight, unbothered line. You will inevitably face brutal setbacks, devastating rejections, and towering obstacles. The amateur views these blockades as proof that the universe is conspiring against them, causing them to collapse into victimhood and abandon their pursuit. The Stoic, however, utilizes a completely different operating system. Marcus Aurelius famously documented that the very things that block our path are actually designed to pave it. When you pray for massive success, life does not simply hand it to you. It hands you the rigorous friction required to forge you into the caliber of person capable of sustaining that success. You must completely stop viewing resistance as a punishment and start viewing it as an elite training ground. When a door slams in your face, it is often a mechanism of protection, forcing you to pivot toward a trajectory that is infinitely superior to your original plan. By embracing the hardship instead of throwing a tantrum over it, you instantly redirect your energy from complaining to adapting. You become like a river that encounters a boulder. You do not fight the stone. You effortlessly flow around it until you carve a new landscape. Number 4. Reclaim your emotional throne. You cannot command the fabric of your reality if you are constantly handing the remote control of your emotions over to external variables. Every time you allow a passing comment, a financial dip, or a delayed email to dictate your mood, you are volunteering to be a puppet. You are silently telling the world that your internal condition is completely dependent on how others choose to behave. To manifest a life of power, you must aggressively reclaim your internal authority. Your joy, your unshakable calm, and your sense of fulfillment must become non-negotiable internal decisions, wholly disconnected from the chaos of the outside world. The Stoic masters proved that while you cannot govern the weather, the economy, or the actions of your neighbors, you have absolute totalitarian control over the space between a stimulus and your reaction to it. When you build this inner citadel, you stop emitting the frequency of a victim. You become a grounded, self-contained force of nature. People and opportunities are biologically drawn to individuals who source their own stability, because true power never begs the environment for permission to feel secure. Number 5. The sorcery of strategic stillness. Modern society has infected you with the delusion that constant, frantic motion equals guaranteed progress. You fill every empty space in your calendar with busy work because you are terrified that if you stand still, your dreams will collapse. But forced, anxious action is a repellent. It screams to the world that you do not trust the process. There is a profound distinction between executing aligned effort and flailing in desperation. You must master the discipline of strategic non-action. This means possessing the fierce intelligence to know exactly when to plant your seeds, and the supreme confidence to step away and let the soil do its work. Think of a master tactician on a chessboard. They do not move pieces wildly just to create the illusion of speed. They wait in calculated silence for the precise fraction of a second, when a single move will alter the entire game. When you learn to pause, you stop suffocating your goals with your own anxiety. You allow the invisible mechanisms of life the necessary breathing room to arrange the synchronicities you could never have orchestrated by force. Number 6. Operate from the empire of enough. You will never manifest true abundance as long as you operate from the deeply ingrained belief that you are currently lacking. We are conditioned to measure our worth by examining the empty spaces in our lives, the money we have not yet made, the accolades we have not yet won. Seneca, despite his immense wealth, identified that the poorest man on earth is the one who is chronically tortured by the desire for more. To flip the magnetic poles of your reality, you must immerse yourself in the philosophy of enough. This is not a surrender to mediocrity, nor is it the assassination of your ambition. It is the psychological mastery of recognizing that the euphoric sensation of success you are chasing is available to you right now, within your present inventory. When you look at your current life and genuinely feel a profound, unshakable gratitude for the breath in your lungs and the opportunities at your feet, you shift your energetic broadcast. You stop transmitting desperation and begin vibrating with absolute fullness. And universal law dictates that an energy of fullness effortlessly draws heavier blessings into its orbit. You do not attract what you desperately want, you attract what you currently embody. Number 7. Surrender to the invisible architecture. Your ultimate barrier to manifestation is your aggressive impatience. You meticulously draft a timeline in your head and throw a psychological tantrum when the universe does not deliver your package on the exact date you demanded. This neurotic obsession with timing creates massive friction against the natural, unforced flow of existence. The Stoics operated with an active, fierce trust in a rational universe, understanding that our microscopic perspective cannot always comprehend the grander design. You must recognize that a delay is not a denial. Often, the thing you are begging for is being withheld because you have not yet evolved into the specific version of yourself capable of carrying its weight. The universe is protecting you from crushing yourself with premature success. You must continue to execute your daily duties with lethal precision, but completely release your chokehold on when and how the victory will materialize. Look back at the most breathtaking, transformative moments of your history. They almost certainly ambushed you as complete surprises, arriving when you finally let go of your rigid expectations. Manifesting your desired reality is not a mystical parlor trick. It is the brutal, beautiful discipline of elevating your own character. It is the process of shedding your neediness, mastering your internal chaos, and becoming the exact caliber of human being who is naturally meant to hold the blessings you seek. You do not have to fight the world to win. You simply have to conquer yourself, and the world will follow. If you are fully committed to this path of self-mastery and quiet power, prove it right now. Leave this final vow in the comments below. I am the architect of my mind and the master of my fate. Stay disciplined, stay grounded, and keep building your inner fortress. I will see you in the next one.